I'm Dr. Michael Haley, and we have another email question about aloe vera. This one says, I would like to keep my aloe frozen in smaller bottles so that I do not waste it if I do not use it within the 7 days. For health reasons, I'm not a fan of plastic and would prefer to freeze in glass. Is that possible? And that question comes from Carol. Carol, this is a common question, so let's talk about a couple things. First, the 7 days. We do recommend that you keep a 7 to 10 day supply in the refrigerator at most. A 3 to 5 day would be even better. Why? Not because it's going to get bad or get bad for you, but become less potent in a sense as things tend to break down and even ferment. And you end up with more of a probiotic and less of the reason you got the aloe. So we agree with you of keeping a smaller amount in your refrigerator so that you can maximize the freshness of your aloe when you have it and have as much potency as possible. So keeping it frozen is the only way to do that. Now, can you use glass? We strongly recommend that you don't even try unless you have real special glass containers that maybe are smaller on the bottom and get bigger towards the top. Thick glass, because they probably will break. We've had lots of people that claim to be experts in canning and preserving, and we freeze bone stock soup and all of these other things. Aloe seems to expand with more strength than, say, water when it freezes. It seems to expand more and put an outward pressure, not necessarily expanding upward as much as we would like it to. And I have a customer that was certain she would get away with it because of her experience, and she ended up sending me photos of all her broken aloe vera jars in the freezer. And in the picture, you can see they're only filled about halfway. She thought it would just expand upward. But even though there was plenty of room on the top, it exerted an outward pressure, shattering the ball glass jars, which is what a lot of people use for canning and preservation and even freezing. So did not work. But we have had customers say that they were able to freeze their aloe with no problems. So, but we've had more say that it was unsuccessful and they felt horrible because they had to throw all of their aloe out. Now, when it comes to plastics, a little bit about plastics. Why are they bad for you? Because they're made of chemicals. You shouldn't eat plastic. Does plastic leach into the food? Yeah, but probably not as much as you think. It gets its bad rap primarily from bottled water, meaning, if you go to a bottled water plant, and you can see this on YouTube, the bottled water takes up so much space in the grocery store that, they have to manufacture a lot to keep the grocery stores full. And you can imagine how big a warehouse would be if they had to make the plastic bottles and store them for a period of time for them to gas off before filling them. So instead, the way it works at a factory is they have these little, injection mold type things, these little plastic starter things that, are quickly heated and then blown to their full size. And then they're kind of turned upside down and water is shot up into them to give them a quick rinse. They're flipped back over and filled with water, and then a cap is put on them. Those bottles never really have a chance to fully cure and completely gas off, so there's going to be more leaching into whatever you put into those containers. In that case, water, bottled water. So if you're going to refreeze in plastic, you're going to have containers that obviously were made a long time before filling them. So, like these juice bottles, if you purchase these juice bottles and, any loose chemical activity has a chance to fully cure and gas off, and then you rinse these out before filling them up. The other neat thing about it is you're filling them with something that's cold, and the coldness slows down molecular activity, which is going to minimize leaching. Do plastics leach? They do. You want to minimize your use of them for that reason. We feel that this is actually one of the good uses of plastic, necessary uses of plastic. And then there's better plastics than others. For instance, this is a number 2 recyclable plastic, probably one of your best options. And that's a BPA free plastic, as is this is another option, and this is a package from Amazon. These are our cups, and a customer told us about the cups that she uses, and the neat thing is these actually stack. Bottles like this, the juice bottles, don't stack. Well, these are a number 5 plastic, and the brand that this particular one is Ready-tainer, again on Amazon, and the package in this case has lids on the bottom. So these, when you're not using them, take up a lot less space versus buying a box of bottles, which have to go next to each other instead of stacking when you ship them. But this is a number 5 plastic, polypropylene, which is also BPA free. So those are a couple options for you. Can I buy these bottles from you? No, why not? You have them. You shipped us one. Yes, with your first package, we put one little bottle in there with a little sticker on it that gives you the idea of refreezing your aloe vera, because we want to teach you to preserve it instead of letting it spoil in your refrigerator. So that's that. And Carol, I want to thank you for your question. You're going to help a lot of people that have the same question, as this is one of our frequently asked questions, and you're going to find this video on our frequently asked question page at HaleyNutrition.com. Thanks.